Mantour Ministries presents the Mantour Guy Podcast. We may talk about football. We could mention bacon. We might reference Rocky movies. We'll probably discuss the Mantour Conferences, but we'll definitely talk about how to grow in our walk with God. Here's your host, the Mantour Guy, Jamie Holden.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Mantour Guy Podcast. Jamie Holden here, and I am so happy you decided to join us once again this week. Well guys, the 2021 Rise and Shine Mantour Conferences are coming up fast. And this week I am happy to be joined by 6 of my friends who are going to share why you should attend your local Mantour Conference. First off guys, we're going to be hearing from Tom Rees. Tom is the men's ministry director for the Pendle District and has had input and influence on the Mantours from the very beginning. And my question I asked Tom was, why is it important for men to get away and attend a conference with other men from other churches?
Dude, we all need to get away. You've seen the commercial, isn't it time to get away? A men's conference is an awesome opportunity for guys to get away with other guys and to be able to just kind of press hard after God. I think there's a few things. So sometimes you're in a church and you think, hey, we're the only ones doing this. You get in a room with a couple hundred guys, a couple thousand guys, and I mean, it just inspires you. And not only that, but guys that are focused, going hard after God. One of the things that I love about a men's event is that you get to hear from another speaker, another vantage point that gets to speak into your life. I think we can all get stuck, and we get stuck in cycles. And sometimes you go and you hear somebody else that just kind of helps move you out of stuck. You ever feel like you need to get moved out of stuck? And I think that's what a men's conference like a Mantour, what our men's conference will do. It'll help guys to get moved off of stuck. And I'll tell you one other thing, and I think this is really, I've seen this in my own life. I remember about, a number of years ago, bringing my dad with me to a men's event. And my dad was not a Christ follower at that point, but I remember him taking the step across the line into faith with Jesus at a men's conference. And it was just an amazing opportunity to see him come to Christ through that. And so I think for guys, no one's in this alone. Bring somebody with you, and it's going to challenge you. It's going to challenge the guys you bring. So there's nothing like it. It's just an amazing time.
Well, guys, one of my favorite parts of a Mantour Conference is always hearing the men singing and worshiping God. And I asked Josh Schaffer, who has led worship at numerous occasions at Mantours, including our Pro Bono Teen Challenge Mantour that we do every year. Josh recently was appointed as a Pendle District Worship Director, and I always love when I get to minister with Josh. And I asked him to share with you what worship is like at a Mantour Conference, what his experience has been leading worship at the Mantour Conferences.
Yeah, worship at Mantour is just something that's exciting, that's engaging. One of my favorite parts of Mantour actually is just hearing the guys just singing at the top of their lungs. Many times in our churches, especially the men seem to be reserved in worship. And at Mantour, it really seems like they really let that wall down and feel free to sing and to engage and to really be a part of worship and what that looks like at Mantour. Yeah, we'll sing songs that you hear on the radio, hopefully stuff that's not too new for you, but stuff that you love to sing and can really connect with really quickly. And it's a really powerful experience, and many people's highlight to the Mantour is singing together, worshiping Christ, shouting it out at the top of their lungs. Leading worship at Mantour has been a super positive experience for me, something I really look forward to doing when I get the opportunity to do it every few years. And it's just a great time coming together, again, singing and praising and glorifying God, because that's what we've been created to do. We've been created to worship. We've been created to bring glory to God. And what better way to do that? What better way to spend your Saturday than to be doing that with a bunch of other men who love Christ, who are excited to grow in their faith. And it's something I really look forward to do again when the opportunity arises, and look forward to being at the Teen Challenge Mantour here in a few months and maybe joining in for one of the other ones as well. So yeah, love to lead worship at Mantour and all that Jamie has done to provide just a quality event that people can come and attend to grow in their faith, to grow in their relationship with others, and just to connect. So yeah, thanks again.
Well, guys, the highlight of our Mantours, according to the feedback we received over the years, is the workshops. And this year we have 3 workshops at the Mantours, and we repeat the workshops so men get to attend 2 to 3 workshops that we offered. And Roberge, Pastor Rob, has spoken in our workshops before, and he's always been a great partner with Mantour Ministries. And I asked him, how are the workshop sessions different from the main session, and why are both important?
Mantour Conferences are just a great fit in the spectrum of men's ministries. You know, you have the honor-bound conferences in October with 1,500 guys worshiping the Lord, hearing world-class speakers that most of the guys have heard of and are well-known. And then you go down to our men's groups where we're all just each other, local Joes, just having the same problems. And Mantour is right in between, where you get 100 guys or a few more than that in a building where they know some of the speakers, have heard of them, maybe they know them personally, but it's a smaller setting than the honor-bound conferences, and it allows for a little bit more interaction. And then you throw in the breakout sessions in that, along that spectrum, and you hit another sector of the men in a good way. Because the breakout sessions, you get to pick between 3 topics that apply to every man, and which in that time of your life are the 2 that apply you the most. And you get to choose. So you pick them, you go there, and when you get there, you have a guy that maybe is a pastor of a local church or a local men's ministry, or maybe he's a businessman who is going through the same things you are, but has shared before, and so he's been asked to be a part of the Mantour Conference. But wherever it is, it's just that one more closer part to you personally on this men's ministry spectrum. And so the speakers being relatable is where I see the breakout sessions being so valuable. I've had some of my men talk and just say, you know, when I heard that speaker, someone who is sharing has gone through the same thing that I'm going through right now, and they're on the other side of it, and God has brought them through it. It was just such a blessing to me. And then throw in on top of that I get to ask them questions about how that happened. Now, I know not every breakout session has the opportunity for questions, but a lot of the ones that I've attended have allowed men to ask questions, and the interaction between the breakout speaker and the men has been valuable on so many levels. So thanks for having the breakout sessions, Jamie. Thanks for the Mantour Conferences, and thanks for the opportunity to share. God bless you.
I'm really excited about the 3 new workshop topics we will be bringing to you in the new year of conferences. Each one is so incredibly practical. The theme of the first workshop is God time, developing your devotional life. This first workshop is designed to help you start and maintain a strong personal relationship with God. Most men of God know they should be having daily devotions, but many men have no idea what this means or how to go about implementing this practice. And we want this workshop to be a practical instruction on what daily devotionals are, how you can adopt them into your life, and a challenge to commit to implementing them into your daily lives. Our hope is men walk away understanding what it means to spend time with God, how to do it, and to implement it into their daily lives, making them stronger than ever spiritually. The second workshop we're offering is Priorities, Making Time for What Matters. Recently at the Endurance Men's Conference, Assembly of God General Superintendent Doug Clay said that as men, we need to give our best energies to our most important relationships. And that really resonated with me because I believe the same thing. We were already planning on offering a workshop on that title. Men of God need to prioritize their lives. We all know life's busy, guys, and a successful man has priorities he needs to put first above the many things pulling for our attention. And in this workshop, we're going to focus on some of the priorities of a godly man, such as daily devotions, health and wellness, time with our family, mentoring, and so much more. We want this to be a practical workshop that challenges men to get their priorities where they need to be. We want men to leave this workshop knowing what needs to be their top priorities in life and how to keep everything else in proper perspective. And the third workshop we're going to be offering is called Shine Bright, sharing your story with those around you. And we are really planning on this third workshop being so incredibly practical as we help men learn how to share their story. Most men know they're called to share their faith and win the loss, but few men actually know how to do it. We would like this workshop to be a practical workshop that helps men develop their story, that helps them identify people in their life they can share this story with, and some other practical tips and advice on how to shine their light bright and reach the lost. Our desire is for men to walk away from this workshop with a game plan of what they will share and who they can share it with as they shine bright to a lost world. So guys, those are the 3 workshop topics that we're going to be bringing to the 2021 Mantours. I know men are going to benefit so much from these timely, practical sessions, and I can't wait for the conferences to start. And guys, we're going to be right back with a little bit more from a few of my friends right after this short break.
Yep, you're listening to the Mantour Guy Podcast.
Men of God, we can't keep burning daylight. It's time to rise and shine. Mantour Ministry presents Burning Daylight, the godly man's call to rise and shine. This is the most important book we've released yet as we give a rallying cry to God's men to throw off all complacency and rise and shine. This book is designed to help you know what you believe, why you believe it, and how to recognize the false teaching of progressive Christianity so you don't fall into its trap. It's time we rise from our beds and shine bright to a dark world. Order your copy today at mantourministries.com/burningdaylight. No more burning daylight, men. It's time to rise and shine.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Like what you're hearing? Head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Thanks.
Hey guys, Jamie Holden here, the Mantour Guy. And so often men tell me that they can't afford to use Covenant Eyes. And my immediate response back is, dude, you can't afford not to use Covenant Eyes. For 53 cents a day, you can protect every computer, every laptop, every tablet, and cell phone that you and your family own from the trap of internet pornography. I tell them for 53 cents a day or $16 a month, you can make sure your little girls never stumble onto pornography as she uses Snapchat or does any internet searches while doing her homework. For 53 cents a day, you can make sure your son never falls into the trap of pornography or even sees it accidentally while online. I say for 53 cents a day, you can protect your wife from getting trapped in the trap of internet porn and protect your marriage. And I tell them for 53 cents a day, you can help break the cycle of internet pornography that's been holding in your life. Guys, you and your family, and most importantly, your walk with God, cannot afford for you not to use Covenant Eyes. So, head to mantourministries.com and hit the Covenant Eyes button in the upper right-hand corner to get 1 month of free service. Try it out. I know you're going to love it. You're never going to regret it. Guys, do it today. You can't afford not to have Covenant Eyes be a part of your life.
The Mantour Guy Podcast, helping men grow in their walk with God.
Hey guys, Mantour Guy Jamie Holden here. Are you looking for a speaker at your church or for your men's breakfast, your next men's event, men's retreat, or men's conference? Well, why not bring me in to speak? God has been moving among men as I've been sharing an encouraging word of freedom and victory. We're seeing lives change, men being saved, people being set free, and guys, chains are being broken. So if your church has hurting men and women, contact me to come share this encouraging word of hope and victory to help you grow in your walk with God.
Don't forget to visit iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Thanks.
Have you been looking for a Bible study that you can work through with your wife? Maybe you want to do devotional time with your daughter. Guys, we have the answer for you. You can buy both the men's and women's edition of Whatever It Takes for $15. This amazing deal is only available at our Mantour Ministries online store. If you go to Amazon, it is $14.99 for just the men's version. So many men are buying both versions and going through them with their wives and daughters. Do not miss this opportunity. Take advantage of this amazing deal today at mantourministries.com and click on the online store button.
Order your copy today at mantourministries.com. Welcome back to the Mantour Guy Podcast.
Welcome back, guys. One thing we try and do at each of our Mantour conferences is to make men's ministry resources available to the men who attend, so that's more than just a one-day event for them. It's something they can take back home with them, work through on their own, or as a group of men in their men's group, they can work through the book, work through the study questions, and we always make that available every year. And Pastor Ben Rivera has participated in several Mantour conferences as a speaker, as well as he always brings his men's group every year. And I asked him to share with you how the yearly Mantour book, based on the yearly theme, has helped the men in his church and how his group has used it.
Hey Jamie, let me say how much our men have enjoyed the Mantour Ministries and also the resources you guys have provided. Over the last year, we have used the Invincible book as part of our monthly men's breakfast and Bible study. It's been a great resource because it brings up topics that may get overlooked sometimes in men's ministries, and because we're reading through the book together, no one feels like they're being picked on, but we just kind of work through those topics, and been a great resource. Also love your personal testimonies. It has helped the guys be able to hear from another man and then be willing to open up about their own struggles and challenges in those areas. So thanks again for those resources.
This year, we have a brand new resource for men, our year-long Bible reading plan, Burning Daylight. Duane Goodling, who was instrumental in the formation of this project, is going to tell you why you should take advantage of this free resource.
Well, I think mostly what we talk to should be a great advertisement for it, for the need for it to be able to help us align with the Word, know what the Lord says, for guidance in our life, for dealing with temptation. But, a lot of times we're all very busy and we think, where did the time go? And it's a short daily Bible reading that, we can focus on. It's intentional. It can come to you, that you can look at to get in the Word. And it's a convenient way to carve out a little bit of time each day to read the Bible. It's not one of those plans. It's like intentional to go through the whole Bible in a year. It's just to get in the Word. And that's the biggest thing, is to be able to get in the Word and read it and know what He's saying. It's a great way to ensure you spend good quality time with God each day in His Word.
I agree. And guys, we really want to encourage you. Take its time. Sign up for this plan. You'll get an email every day with the passages that you need to read, with a link to go and read the passages. 6 days of Bible reading, 1 day of a devotional based on our theme for 2021, which is Rise and Shine. God is calling His men, no more burning daylight. It's time to rise and shine. And we made this plan specifically for men. Personally, when I do one of those through the Bible and the year plans, I always get lost around Leviticus numbers. That's kind of where I struggle. So we're very specifically picked out passages. It's not a through a Bible in a year plan. It's very targeted for men, to keep men interested and engaged and help them become the men of the Word that God has called them to be. So I encourage you to go to mantourministries.com/Bible plan, sign up for that plan today. And on January 1st, you will get the first day of the reading of the Bible reading plan. Well, guys, as we wrap up our time with my friends and ministry partners today, I want to end by having Jason Torval, who has been a part of our Mantour conferences from the very beginning as the pastor at Shrewsbury Assembly. And Jason he was appointed as the Director of Minister Care in the Pendle District. I asked Jason to share, how has Mantour affected the men in his church? Listen to this amazing story.
As a local church pastor, we always look forward to putting the Mantour on our schedule. And this is the reason why, the way Mantour has impacted the men of our church. Let me just tell you the story. Some time ago, a number of years ago now, one of the men of our church, he has a few daughters, and two of his daughters are married. Now, his desire for his family is not only for his kids, but his son-in-laws, to serve the Lord Jesus. And as he was praying for that, he said, I just feel led I need to invite my newest son-in-law to come with. up to the Mantour. Now, this is a young man, good young man, just not with a church background, no spiritual understanding, and but because it was his father-in-law, and it was his first year, they might have just been engaged at that point, actually. They ended up, he came with us, he traveled with us in the bus, and it was an amazing, amazing scene, because as he was there, I was sitting right next to him, and at 24, 25 years of age, I could sense the Lord working on his heart. And as I think we were in one of the main sessions, the call to receive Christ as your Lord and Savior came. It was a very direct, man-centered call, no shame-based, just if you're ready to do this, let's make it happen. And as that call is going forth, I'm praying in the Spirit, and wouldn't you know it, he responded to the call of God for salvation. It was a beautiful scene. He unashamedly raised his hand. He talked about it. Whenever he got home, he told his mother-in-law. It was just an amazing scene that was there. As I had a chance to debrief with the father-in-law, the one that's a member of our church, he said, "You'll never know what that meant to me, that I was able to bring my son-in-law." And it was in that setting that Jesus was able to touch him. And you know, every single year since, that's 4 years in a row running, he refuses to miss coming to the Mantour. Even though they've moved out of the area, they're about an hour away now, he always puts it on his schedule, and he makes sure. Why? Because that's where he met the Lord. That's where he tasted the goodness of God. So Jamie, thank you so much. The team that's a part of Mantour, you guys are making a difference, and that's the difference that was made in one of the men and one of the families of our church.
The Mantour Guy's final thought.
Guys, I have so many good memories from our Mantour conferences, and most of them center around what I believe is the most important part of our conferences, the time around the altar. You know, I can remember seeing, a father and his little 4-year-old son standing at the altar, both with their arms raised, as this little guy tried to imitate what his father was doing. I remember a grieving father who lost his son to suicide just months before, crying out to God for help, and seeing this man be ministered to and counseled by one of our speakers. I remember seeing an 80-year-old man slain in the Spirit as he spoke in tongues for the first time, something he had been seeking for years. I remember seeing men from a local homeless shelter accepting Christ at the altar for the very first time. Guys, I could go on and on and on with story after story of men having life-changing experiences around the altar. And yes, the donuts and the coffee are great, the fellowship's fun, and the worship always rocks. But these moments at the altar are what makes the Mantour so great. And they are why I do what I do. My passion is to see men grow in their walk with God, and the altar call time, they're a sign that men's lives are being changed. We've had amazing testimonies the past 6 years, and I can't wait to see what God does in the lives of men around the altars in 2020 as they gain victory, as defeat is no longer an option for them. Guys, it's time to stop burning daylight. We need to rise and shine. So get to your local Mantour conference, whatever it takes. And guys, we're out of time for this week. Once again, thank you guys for giving your time today to listen. I would love it if you took a second and shared this podcast to your social media. We would love to be able to reach even more men. Also, don't forget, we are available to subscribe at iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. Also, we just recently became available on Amazon Music. So if you do Amazon Music, you can get the podcast there. If you have an Alexa, you can just say, "Alexa, play the Mantour Guide podcast." She'll get you the latest episodes. And brand new, we are available on Spotify. The podcast is available on Spotify for free, so it's another venue to find it. Guys, just remember, check it out, subscribe, leave a rating and review so more men can find out about the podcast. Also, do not forget to visit MantourMinistries.com to learn more about the upcoming conferences, the books, the resources. So much is available at MantourMinistries.com. But guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week on the Mantour Guide Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Mantour Guy Podcast. Be sure to visit MantourMinistries.com to learn more about our books, men's ministry resources, and our Mantour Conferences.
You asked, we answered. For the past few years, we had so many men request an audio version of our books, and we are happy to bring you our first ever audiobook. Check out this sample from Whatever It Takes Men's Edition audiobook. Over the years of my life, I've been faced with this question over and over again as God repeatedly asked me to take new leaps of faith, to follow Him blindly wherever He leads, to go boldly into new areas of life and ministry, to give everything up for Him, and to do whatever it takes to follow His calling on my life. Over and over, I have made the reckless decision to follow Jesus. Even though I didn't always know where that would take me, I knew that I loved Jesus and wanted His will for my life. You can get your copy today at Amazon, Audible Books, and iTunes. Visit MantourMinistries.com/whatever it takes, all one word, for more information. One more thing before I wrap up this week, guys. You need to head to CovenantEyes.com and sign up today to protect you and your loved ones from the many traps awaiting you on the internet. You know, I am a Covenant Eyes user. I just signed my 69-year-old father up and put Covenant Eyes on his phone and his laptop. I believe in it. It's an amazing tool. It helps you stay pure online. Guys, I encourage you to try it today. If you use the code MANTOR, you get 30 free days. That's 30 free days. What do you have to lose? So head to CovenantEyes.com, try it today. Like I said, what do you have to lose, guys?
Yep. You're listening to the Mantour Guy Podcast.